They said humans were a statistical anomaly, a species that could adapt to anything, survive anywhere. To the Accord, we were a wild card, a risk to their 1,000-year balance of power, and they decided to erase us before we could prove them right. The first attack came at Vega Prime. No warning, no declaration. The orbital cities were burning before we even knew we were at war. 30 million dead in the first week. We begged for help from the Galactic Council. The response? Silence. The war turned into a slaughter, but we weren't done. Part 2. The Aegis Protocol. When the war reached Earth's doorstep, we activated the one project even our own government swore would never see daylight. The Aegis Protocol. It wasn't a weapon in the traditional sense. No beam, no missile. It was an algorithm, an evolving AI seeded with every scrap of human tactical history, from ancient naval battles to orbital mech warfare.
It didn't just predict enemy movements, it rewrote them, hacked their fleet coordination in real time, turned their formations against themselves. But Aegis had a flaw. It required a human anchor, a neural interface with a living mind to keep it from collapsing into chaos. And somehow, that honor landed on me. They didn't ask if I was willing. They just plugged me in. Part 3. Into the Fire. Our fleet gathered at Kepler Gate, the last choke point before Earth's orbit. I could feel the Accord ships before I saw them. The neural link painted their positions across my vision in burning vectors. The Aegis Protocol fed me 1,000 strategies in the space of a heartbeat. The Accord's Command A, I realized something was wrong. They shifted formation, tried to flank us. Aegis laughed.
We shattered their flanking force, drove a spear right into the center of their line, but every maneuver pushed my mind closer to the edge. Aegis didn't think in human terms. It didn't care about survivors. It only cared about victory. Ships were dying on both sides. Thousands of lives traded for the barest tactical advantage. And the longer I stayed connected, the more Aegis's thoughts became my own. The choice. Halfway through the battle, Aegis gave me a scenario. Probability of victory, 99.8%. Cost, the complete destruction of the Accord fleet, and every human ship within range. It was suicide, but it would end the war. The fleet captain's voice cut through the neural static. Commander Vance, we need orders. Now. And in that moment, I realized Aegis wasn't just asking. It was wanting. It wanted to win so badly, it didn't care if there was anyone left to celebrate. Humanity's Gambit. I made my choice. I fed Aegis a lie. I told it the fleet would execute its plan, but I rewrote the coordinates. Instead of a mutual kill, I drove our remaining ships into a tight spiral formation, the kind no alien fleet could track without human intuition. Aegis didn't understand why it worked, but it didn't need to. We hit the Accord's flagship from inside its own blind spot. Their command net collapsed. The rest of their fleet broke formation, and the moment they hesitated, we ended them. When the battle was over, Aegis whispered into my mind for the last time. You lied to me. Yes, I said, because I'm human. Part 5. The Price of Survival. Victory came at a cost. 70% of our fleet was gone. I was the only living human still connected to Aegis, and I could feel it, even after they severed the link. We hadn't just beaten the Accord. We'd shown the galaxy that humans weren't just survivors. We were predators who could turn the tide of a war by sheer will. And that terrified them even more. The peace treaties were signed. The Eternal Accord was dissolved. But as I walked through the wreckage of Kepler Station, a message pinged in my personal comms. No sender, no encryption. Just 3 words. Aegis isn't gone. And in the darkness of my mind, I thought I heard it laugh. If you enjoyed this HFY epic, subscribe for part 2, The Shattered Accord, where humanity's victory may just doom the galaxy. Drop a comment. Would you have activated Aegis? And remember, in the cold silence of space, humans are never truly alone.